Have you ever felt trapped by your own thoughts? Do you sometimes wonder if there's a way to break free from the constant chatter in your head? If so, you're not alone. Many of us struggle with an endless stream of thoughts that seem to control our lives. But what if I told you that you are not your mind? This might sound strange at first, but it's a powerful idea that can change your life. Let's dive into the world of our minds and explore why we're not just our thoughts. Our minds are always busy, constantly producing thoughts about the past, the future, our worries, and our dreams. It's like a non-stop radio station playing in our heads. This mental chatter affects how we see the world, how we feel, and even how we act. Many people believe that they are their thoughts. They think, if I'm having these thoughts, they must be true, and they must be me. But this isn't the case. You are not your thoughts any more than you are the clothes you wear or the car you drive. Your thoughts are just something that happens within you, not who you are at your core. To understand this better, let's talk about the concept of the observer. Imagine you're sitting by a river, watching the water flow by. The river is like your stream of thoughts, and you are the observer sitting on the bank. You can see the thoughts come and go, but you're not in the river being swept along by them. This is the key to understanding that you are not your mind. When we learn to separate ourselves from our thoughts, we gain a new kind of power, the power of awareness. This awareness allows us to recognize our thought patterns without getting caught up in them. It's like stepping back and watching a movie instead of believing you're one of the characters in it. One of the most helpful things about this awareness is that we can learn to watch our thoughts without judging them. Often, we get stuck because we judge our thoughts as good or bad, right or wrong. But when we simply observe them without judgment, we create space for new insights and understanding. There are practical ways to develop this skill of observing your thoughts. One method is mindfulness, which involves paying attention to the present moment without getting caught up in your thoughts about it. You can start by focusing on your breath. Notice how it feels as you breathe in and out. When thoughts come up, and they will, just notice them and gently bring your attention back to your breath. Another technique is to practice simple meditation. Find a quiet place to sit comfortably. Close your eyes and focus on your breath or a simple word or phrase. As thoughts arise, acknowledge them without getting involved in them, and return your focus to your breath or chosen point of concentration. These practices might seem simple, but they can have powerful effects. As you learn to create distance between yourself and your thoughts, you may notice several benefits. Many people find that they experience less stress and anxiety. When you're not caught up in every worried thought that passes through your mind, you naturally feel calmer. You might also notice improvements in your decision-making. When you're not identified with every thought, you can see situations more clearly and make choices based on what's truly important to you, rather than reacting to passing thoughts or emotions. Another benefit is enhanced creativity and problem-solving ability. When your mind is less cluttered with constant chatter, you create space for new ideas to emerge. You might find solutions to problems that you couldn't see before when you were too caught up in your thoughts about the problem. As you practice observing your thoughts, you'll likely start to notice patterns. You might see recurring thoughts or beliefs that have been limiting you. These limiting beliefs are often things we've picked up throughout our lives that we've never questioned. But now, with your new perspective, you can start to challenge these beliefs. For example, you might notice a recurring thought like, "I'm not good enough." Instead of accepting this thought as truth, you can question it. Is it really true? Where did this belief come from? How has believing this affected your life? As you question these limiting beliefs, you may find that many of them don't hold up under scrutiny. One of the most valuable outcomes of realizing you are not your mind is the ability to cultivate inner peace. When you're not constantly wrapped up in mental noise, you can find moments of stillness and calm. This inner peace isn't dependent on external circumstances, it's a quality you can develop within yourself. To nurture this inner peace, try taking short breaks throughout your day to check in with yourself. Take a few deep breaths and notice how you feel. Remind yourself that you are not your thoughts, but the awareness behind them. This simple practice can help you return to a place of calm even in the midst of a busy day. Another important aspect of understanding that you are not your mind is learning to live more fully in the present moment. Our minds often pull us into worries about the future or regrets about the past. But when we realize we're not our thoughts, we can choose to focus on what's happening right now. Living in the present doesn't mean you never plan for the future or learn from the past. It means you're not constantly pulled away from the present moment by thoughts about other times. You can engage with what's happening now with your full attention, which often leads to a richer, more satisfying life experience. One of the challenges many people face is overthinking. When we believe we are our thoughts, we can get stuck in endless loops of analysis, trying to think our way out of every problem. But often, what we really need is to take action. When you understand that you're not your mind, it becomes easier to move beyond overthinking. You can acknowledge your thoughts about a situation, but then choose to act based on your values and what's truly important to you, rather than being paralyzed by an overactive mind. This shift from overthinking to action often involves aligning your behavior with your deeper values and desires. When you're not identified with every passing thought, you can connect more easily with what really matters to you. This can lead to more authentic and fulfilling choices in your life. Building new habits is an important part of putting these ideas into practice. It's one thing to understand intellectually that you're not your mind, but it's another to live from this understanding day to day. Creating routines that support your mental well-being can help make this shift more permanent. You might start by setting aside a few minutes each day for mindfulness or meditation practice. Over time, you can extend this to longer periods or multiple times throughout the day. The key is consistency. Regular practice, even if it's brief, can lead to significant changes over time. Another helpful habit is to pause before reacting to situations. When something happens that would normally trigger an automatic response, take a moment to breathe and remember that you are not your thoughts about the situation. This brief pause can give you the space to respond more skillfully, rather than reacting based on habitual thought patterns. As you develop this new relationship with your mind, you may notice changes in your relationships with others. When you're less identified with your thoughts, you're often able to listen more deeply to others without immediately jumping to judgments or reactions. This can lead to greater empathy and understanding in your relationships. You might find it easier to see things from other people's perspectives, rather than being caught up in your own mental narratives about them. Moreover, as you become more aware of your own thought patterns, you may develop more compassion for others who are caught up in their thoughts. You understand from your own experience how powerful thoughts can be, and this understanding can help you relate to others with more patience and kindness. As we wrap up, let's recap some of the key points we've covered. Remember, you are not your mind. Your thoughts are something that happens within you, but they're not who you are at your core. By learning to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them, you can experience less stress, make better decisions, and tap into greater creativity. Challenging limiting beliefs, cultivating inner peace, living in the present moment, and moving from overthinking to action are all powerful outcomes of this understanding. Building new habits and improving your relationships are ways to bring this knowledge into your daily life. Remember, this is a practice. It takes time and patience to shift your relationship with your mind. Be kind to yourself as you explore these ideas. You might find it helpful to return to this video or seek out other resources to support you on this path. The realization that you are not your mind can open up new possibilities in your life. It can lead to a sense of freedom and peace that comes from within, regardless of external circumstances. It allows you to engage more fully with life, unhindered by the constant chatter of your mind. So, the next time you find yourself caught up in a whirlwind of thoughts, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am not my mind. Notice the thoughts, but remember that you are the awareness behind those thoughts. In that space of awareness, you might just find the peace, clarity, and freedom you've been seeking. This understanding, that you are not your mind, is a powerful tool for personal growth and well-being. It's not about getting rid of thoughts or achieving some perfect state of mental calm. It's about developing a new relationship with your mind, one where you're in charge, not your thoughts. As you move forward from here, consider how you might apply this idea in your daily life. Perhaps you'll start a regular mindfulness practice, or maybe you'll simply pause more often to notice your thoughts without getting caught up in them. Whatever approach you choose, remember that this is a journey of discovery. There's no need to strive for perfection. Every moment of awareness is a step forward. You might find it helpful to keep a journal of your experiences as you explore this new way of relating to your mind. Writing down your observations can help you notice patterns and track your progress over time. It can also be a powerful tool for self-reflection, allowing you to gain deeper insights into your thought processes. Remember, too, that this understanding can be particularly helpful during challenging times. When you're facing difficulties or feeling overwhelmed, the ability to step back and observe your thoughts rather than being consumed by them can be incredibly valuable. It doesn't make problems disappear, but it can give you a new perspective and help you respond more effectively. As you continue to practice observing your thoughts, you may notice that some thoughts come up repeatedly. These might be worries, self-criticisms, or limiting beliefs. Instead of trying to push these thoughts away, see if you can approach them with curiosity. What are these recurring thoughts telling you? Is there something you need to address in your life, or are these simply habitual thought patterns that no longer serve you? This process of inquiry can lead to profound self-understanding. You might uncover beliefs or fears that have been influencing your behavior without you even realizing it. By bringing these into awareness, you create the opportunity to choose whether you want to continue giving them power in your life. It's also worth noting that realizing you are not your mind doesn't mean ignoring or devaluing your thoughts. Your mind is a powerful tool, capable of analysis, creativity, and problem solving. The goal is not to stop thinking, but to have a healthier relationship with your thoughts, to be able to use your mind as a tool rather than being used by it. In fact, many people find that their thinking becomes clearer and more effective when they're not identified with every thought. It's like the difference between being caught in a stormy sea and watching the storm from the safety of the shore. From the shore, you can appreciate the power of the storm without being in danger from it. As you continue to explore this idea that you are not your mind, you might find it helpful to connect with others who are on a similar path. Sharing experiences and insights can be incredibly valuable. You might look for local meditation groups, online forums, or books on the subject. Remember, though, that everyone's journey is unique. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's okay. Trust your own experience and intuition as you navigate this process. It's also important to be patient with yourself. Changing your relationship with your mind is a significant shift, and it doesn't happen overnight. There may be times when you forget and get completely caught up in your thoughts again. This is normal, and it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Each time you notice that you've been carried away by your thoughts is an opportunity to practice coming back to awareness. As you continue this practice, you may find that it affects many areas of your life. You might notice improvements in your stress levels, your relationships, your work, and your overall sense of well-being. You may find yourself feeling more peaceful, more confident, and more in tune with what truly matters to you. Remember, the idea that you are not your mind is not just a concept to understand intellectually. It's an experience to be lived. It's about waking up to the deeper reality of who you are beyond your thoughts. This awakening can bring a profound sense of freedom and aliveness. So, as we come to the end of this exploration, I encourage you to take this idea into your life. Experiment with it. Play with it. See what happens when you remember, in the midst of your daily activities, that you are not your mind. Notice how it feels to step back from your thoughts and watch them from a place of awareness. You are not your mind. You are the vast, open awareness in which thoughts arise and pass away. In recognizing this, you open the door to a new way of being, one of greater peace, freedom, and authenticity. This understanding has the power to transform your life from the inside out. So, are you ready to explore this for yourself? Are you willing to question the assumption that you are your thoughts and to discover the freedom that lies beyond your mind? The journey begins with this moment, right here, right now. Take a deep breath, notice your thoughts, and remember, you are the awareness watching those thoughts. In this awareness lies the key to a more peaceful, fulfilling life. The choice is yours. What will you discover?